It's important for me to make work that's personal to my own experience. I think it's valuable culturally, but that's maybe not the incentive that I, as an artist, have to tell certain stories. You write what you know, and you try to share what you know, and I think that's hard to do, because the industry asks for you to make films that are by nature global, and I'm trying to make films that are anti-global. Maybe we'll be able to be experienced all over the world, but come from a very specific place. I try not to verbalize, to make concrete the things that are happening under the surface. I want them to remain unexplained and also discovered. So it's a lot to me like what happens with a good therapist, in the sense that you feel confident that you are being listened to and that you have a space that seems very warm, but also there's room to explore these things that you can't control. I am returning to an attachment to independent film as not a marketing tool that describes how it's going to be used by the studios to talk about a kind of film that I don't relate to anymore. To me, independence is independence. You know, I feel strongly that's a position I want to fight for and to hold on to.
To present the Fiercely Independent Award, please welcome to the stage Larry Fessenden.
Hello, I'm Larry Fessenden. I'm a local filmmaker as well, and I'm very excited to have a few brief words about IRA. But first I want to talk about this film festival. I came here, I've been coming for like 25 years. I remember coming after 9/11, and just the healing power of gathering together and in defiance of the world events and just embracing art together. Yes, activism, but also just storytelling and consoling each other with these stories. And my own experience this year has been very special. I saw a documentary about Martin Scorsese, which is why I make movies, because of my love of the art form, and I felt such a connection to Marty. So it was very nostalgic for me. I actually lost my mother a week ago, and so I've been feeling very sentimental about thinking and looking back. And then the next day, I interviewed Brad Dourif. Well, my God, my favorite movie when I was young was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and it was so seminal, and I thank the festival for allowing me to have that incredibly sort of fanboy moment, but also he was so gracious in speaking about his relationship to art. And even though he's made horror films and genre films, he had a deep connection to the work. And so that's what this festival celebrates. I love the activism that we're talking about up here, but it's also the storytelling. And then today I watched my better half present the world premiere of her wonderful animated film called The Lure of Ponies, which is an old cozy, an animated film, and just absolutely delightful and so nuanced and celebratory. And so now we come. They very kindly, this wonderful festival, invited me to talk about Ira. Well, I think there's so many wonderful people that he's worked with, and far more important people, and yet I do have a connection to Ira that is deep and that speaks to this independence. He and I and Kelly Reichert had an office together in the early 90s, and we wanted to make movies, and all of us, in our way, helped each other. I was involved with Ira's first movie, The Delta, a wonderful, nuanced character piece about a kid that's, two kids that are finding their homosexuality. It was a beautiful film, and I was just we were all so excited. We were fiercely independent. Kelly Reichardt went on to her career. Ira went on to his. But I'll tell you the secret, in my opinion. He made a couple of films and he got Sundance Awards. And yet I remember when he said, I'm not quite sure it's working for me. And I was like, why? My God, you're doing so well. And he said, I just want to raise independent money. And he made the movie Leave the Lights On. And it was so personal and visceral. And he had the music of Arthur Russell. And it was just such a portrait of, honestly, you know, a dark time in his life, addiction and sexuality. And it was so vibrant. And I thought, Ira, he's back. He's now on the road. And all of his movies since then have had that beautiful passion and observing of the mystery of human relations. I mean, the movies speak for themselves. I can't be much more articulate, but I'm just so proud to have been invited to celebrate my pal, Ira Sachs. Come on up, Ira.
Thank you. I'm usually confused for Ira Glass, but today it was Ira Deutschman. So there was a picture, and whoever, I don't want to cause blame on whoever put the picture of Ira Deutschman, but all of us Iras are here, and we're all very happy to be a part of this community, though Ira Glass is not part of this community, but we can invite him in. To the Iras, thank you. Thank you. My father, Ira, would be very happy to hear that. God rest his soul. I did write some things, and then I put them away because we're all here, and it's a long evening, and I guess what I wanted to say to people who are making movies, and I want to thank Larry. Larry he underspeaks the beauty of the life he's created for himself as an artist and also for so many filmmakers. Larry's the most generous, kind, just really one of the best. So thank you, Larry. I just want to say that I'm making a movie right now. I was on location at 1:30 a.m. last night, and I'm going to be shooting again at 7 a.m. on Monday, which is kind of extraordinary that I'm still making movies as I turn 60 and that I've been able to sustain somehow this career, which seems impossible then and impossible now. What I want to share is that every day is like, it's sort of like beauty and like hell. And every day, and this is really, when I finished the film Peter Hujar's Day, I went to Sundance and talked about it, and I thought everything I said was a little bit boring. It was about the making of the film, and it was about money, and it was about production, and I wasn't interested. And then I watched the film, and I was like, wow, the thing that I love about this film, which I can say because Peter Hujar wrote the words, I didn't write these words, is that he reveals in this incredibly intimate way what it is to get through a day as an artist. And I feel like I watch that and I think, wow, my day felt like that. Every day is full of doubt. Every day is full, perhaps, of arrogance. There's a day in which you think, what I've done is shit, and what you've done might be worth something, but there is this question of your own value and the value of the work that never ceases to be challenging and unknown. And for me, if there's anything that I feel slightly fierce about is that I can live through that. And the only way I've done that is by the opposite of independence. It's by dependence. It's by having people who I can call in the middle of the night and say, like, oh my God, if you saw what I did today. Like, I just can't describe the doubt and how big it is. And I think I am speaking not as an individual, but something that is quite universal for all of us who make art and expose ourselves in ways that are truly, truly, truly vulnerable. You can always have the potential to be humiliated. And maybe you won't be, but living through that fear is, I guess, fearless. So, thank you.